An offer from South Korea to rehabilitate the dormant power plant is still standing. And inflation holds pat at 3% in February, even as oil prices continue to climb. However, one economist says the conflict between Russia and the Ukraine may factor in soon. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's a roundup of stories we're watching now. I'm Sean Yao. Traffic jams are back along EDSA as COVID-19 restrictions are eased further. Let's check in on the traffic situation with JC Cosico, who is reporting to us live on the ground. JC, hi. How is the traffic situation on this Friday rush hour?
Sean, it seems traffic along EDSA is back to normal after Metro Manila shifted to Alert Level 1, but some establishments have opted to continue imposing strict protocols.
Heavy traffic welcomed motorists along EDSA southbound, particularly near Nepa Mart in Quezon City on Friday morning. Just a few days after NCR shifted to COVID-19 Alert Level 1, the volume of vehicles traversing the major thoroughfare is already nearing pre-pandemic levels. But the MMDA believes continuous oil price hikes could have said this.
Baka maging isang factor yon kung bakit hindi rin dadami yung sasakyan. Baka mag-self-regulate na rin yung mga may-ari ng sasakyan.
Still, they are studying whether the number coding scheme should be expanded.
Pag nakita natin na yung ating volume is talagang pataas na ng pataas and yung ating speed is pababa ng pababa, siyempre makikita natin yan sa data and sa observation sa field.
Over at the Monumento station of the EDSA bus carousel, passengers welcomed the government, allowing 100% a PUV passenger capacity.
Ang haba ng pila, gadulo dati na, pero ngayon di na, konti na lang. Mas ano na ngayon, konti na lang talaga siya. Mas mabilis na siya ngayon.
But the health department calls for continuous monitoring of public health safety protocols.
Kailangan tumupad tayo doon sa kaning pinag-usapan. So if it's 100%, it's not 120, 150%.
On the other hand, some businesses like this gym have decided not to operate at full capacity just yet.
Basically, we want to maintain lang na yung distance kasi we don't know what can happen in the next coming days. So parang nasa trial period pa lang tayo nung pag-full capacity.
This cinema, meanwhile, is still not allowing food and drinks inside.
Kahit po pwede, nag-stick po kami sa no food and drinks allowed muna sa cinema.
Bakit?
Para po sa safety din and sa confident ng mga moviegoers.
The Trade Department says it's up to them if they will enforce stricter COVID-19 restrictions.
Hindi naman ibig sabihin ng alert level 1 ay babaliwalain na natin lahat ng protocols. Pwede na pa rin nilang ituloy kung gusto nila.
Sean, it's past 6 p.m. and it's a rush hour and traffic has already built up along the stretch of EDSA Reliance, and that is being experienced in both northbound and southbound. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much for that update. JC Cosico of News 5 reporting to us from along EDSA. One research body says that there's still a ways to go before the country can shift to nuclear energy. Director Carlo Arcilia of the Philippine Nuclear Research Institute told the chiefs that the government must first take into account the best practices set by international agencies.
It is just the gate. So the gate says the Philippines is considering nuclear. So there's still going to be a long or a series of steps. But without the EO, everything is theoretical. So that's why it's a very significant step.
Speaking to the big story, Arcilia also said that reviving the Bataan nuclear power plant is probably the fastest way for the country to tap into nuclear energy. He cited a $1 billion rehabilitation offer from South Korea, which has an exact model of the Bataan plant.
The option of the BNPP is probably the fastest way to go nuclear. The reason for this is that the structure is already there, and there is an offer from the South Korean government to rehabilitate it.
Presidential aspirant Bongbong Marcos continues his campaign in Bicol, the bailiwick of Leni Robredo. We have mobile journalist Julie Baiza in Sorsogon to give us the latest. Julie, kamusta ang naging pagtanggap ng mga tao dyan kay BBM?
Katulad ng inaasahan dahil baluarte ni Vice President Leni Robredo ang Bicol Region, hindi ganang karami yung sumalubong sa Unity Tandem kanina. Umabot lang ng halos 30 minutes yung caravan ng Unity simula doon sa Barangay Pangpang Coastal Road. Tapos tumigil na yung ang kasunod na event na yung Grand Rally. Sa Grand Rally, hindi rin ganoon karami yung mga taong sumasalubong. In fact, halos pwedeng mag-beat ni BBM kanina sa caravan yung mga tao na sumasalubong sa kanya, kahit yung mga nasa itaas ng establishments. Nagigreet na rin niya at nakakaway. Kumapa lang yung tao nung natapat na dito sa mismong Capitol Park kasi nandito na rin naman yung mga supporters na naghihintay sa Grand Rally.
Julie, mainit na usapan ngayon ang pag-adopt sa nuclear energy bilang alternatibong power source. Ano ang posisyon dito ni dating Senador Marcos?
Nauna nang sinabi ng advisor ng Unity na isa nga ang Bataan Nuclear Power Plant o BNPP sa titingnan at posibleng i-revisit ni BBM sakaling mahalal na Pangulo. Iyan ay napag-usapan ang energy agenda. So usapin ang kuryente bago pa man bumisita dito sa Sorsogon, nangako na siya sa mga Bicolano na tututukan ang sabi niya ay endless brownout sa Bicolandia na nakakaapekto raw sa kabuhayan at pamumuhay ng mga tao. Yan ay sa pamamagitan nga ng pag-aaral sa renewable energy sources.
Okay, may isa pang usap-usapan dito, no, Julie. Ito ngang kumakalat na quote card ni Attorney Vic Rodriguez tungkol ito sa hindi na daw pagsali ng Uniteam sa kahit ano pa mang debate. Fake news daw to. Have we verified that?
Yes, sabi ni Attorney Vic Rodriguez, fake news nga yung kumakalat na impormasyon sa social media na nagsasabing hindi na a-attend sa anumang debate ang Uniteam candidates mula daw presidente hanggang konsehal. Wala raw ganong statement mula sa kanya o sa BBM Sara Uniteam. Part lang daw yun ng pamumulitika laban kay BBM. Lumabas yung quote card na yan pagkatapos magsagutan or magkainitan ni na senatorial candidates Attorney Larry Gadon, former presidential spokesman Harry Roque at Attorney Luke Espiritu tungkol sa usapin ng martial law sa isinagawang debate ng SMNI. Sinalag ni Attorney Espiritu yung mga pahayag ni Gadon at Roque na kapwa bahagi ng Uniteam slate tungkol nga sa martial law. Kasunod yan, Sean, umapela na rin sa Attorney Vic sa mga nasa likod ng peking quote card na igalang daw ang dignidad ng mga tao at pigilan ng pagpapakalat ng fake news.
Alright, balik naman tayo, Julia, sa mga pangyayari dyan sa Sorsogon. Nakatanggap na ba ng endorsement si BBM dyan?
As far as endorsement is concerned, walang natanggap na formal endorsement si BBM dito sa Sorsogon. Pero present si Sorsogon Governor Chis Escudero sa Uniteam Grand Rally ngayong hapon. Hindi nga lang siya nagbigay ng anumang speech. The whole time na nagsasalita si BBM, nasa likod lang din siya. Kahit nung time na magsasama-sama na ang Uniteam candidate sa gitna ng entablado, hindi na rin sumama si Governor Chis at pumasok na lang siya sa loob ng Kapitolyo. Na-note din natin na puting damit yung suot niya, hindi pula or hindi green na kulay ng Unity. Mapapansin natin na laging puti yung suot ni Governor Chis kapag may tinatanggap na kandidato dito sa lalawigan.
Alright, very interesting point. Julie, saan naman ang susunod na sortie ni BBM? At magkasama na ba ulit sila ni Mayor Sara?
Bukas, may schedule ng rally sa Masbate. Parehas yan si BBM at si Inday Sara ang inaasahan dito. May impormasyon din tayo na sa susunod na linggo, Mimaro, Parizon, Cebu at ilang lugar sa Metro Manila yung bibisitahin nila.
Alright, maraming salamat sa update. That was Mojo. Julie Baiza reporting to us live from Sorsogon. And on the economy, inflation came in flat at 3% in February despite the rise in oil prices. This as food prices eased, which offset the higher costs of transportation, electricity, and LPG. Shyla Francisco has the full report.
The country's inflation rate remains steady despite the continuous increase in oil prices. For February, Philippine inflation remains at 3%, much lower than the median analyst forecast of 3.3%. The Philippine Statistics Authority said this is because of food prices easing, which countered higher crude prices.
Pag tumaas talaga yung presyo sa world market, sa fuels for example, mabilis doon pumapasok sa basket ng transport at yung housing, water, electricity, gas and other fuels sa ibang mga groups like food. Ito ay depende sa iba. I think there is an improvement in the supply chain. In particular, may nakita kaming pagbaba ng presyo ng specific na mga items sa market.
Last month's inflation rate is well within the government's target of 2 to 4%. But in an interview with Business World Live, economist Nikki Mapa says impact from the Ukraine conflict may sink in soon.
And the ongoing geopolitical developments, conflict, definitely not yet reflected in this February print. Going forward, we can see inflation accelerating rather quickly. I think we're going to likely feel the impact as early as March.
The National Economic and Development Authority is now keeping a close watch on the Ukraine-Russia conflict and its effect on commodity prices. NEDA is fast-tracking measures that will provide subsidies to affected sectors. The agency is also looking at increasing food supply. NEDA is proposing for the entire country to be placed under Alert Level 1. This is to allow workers to earn more income and to strengthen the domestic economy. Shaila Francisco, We Are One News.
And here's a quick look at today's other top stories. PAGCOR vows to review the policies and hold dialogues with e-sabong operators on the issue of dozens of missing cockfight players. PAGCOR Chief Andrea Domingo said they still have to wait for President Duterte's go signal before suspending e-sabong operations. The regulator will come up with a resolution on the missing e-sabong players after 1 week. President Duterte has appointed attorney Romando Artes as the new MMDA chairman. Artes served as the agency's officer in charge after the resignation of former chairman Benhur Abalos. And devotees flocked to the Quiapo Church for the first Friday Mass this month as churches return to full capacity under COVID-19 Alert Level 1. The Quiapo Church will be holding hourly masses until 9 p.m. And for more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. Masks on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. I am Sean Yao. We are One News.